Candace Owens has just detonated a bomb that no one saw coming, and it's tearing the conservative world apart. In a shocking late-night post that's already gone viral, she hinted that Charlie Kirk's own wife may have played a role in the scandal. That's been quietly brewing behind closed doors for months. And when fans pieced together what Candace really meant, the internet went into total meltdown. It started with a single cryptic tweet, one that didn't mention names. But everyone knew who she was talking about. Sometimes, she wrote, "Betrayal doesn't come from enemies. It comes from those sitting at your dinner table." Within minutes, conservative Twitter exploded. Screenshots were flying everywhere. And before anyone could blink, Charlie Kirk's name was trending right alongside his wife's. But this isn't just a petty feud or a misunderstanding. According to alleged insiders close to both Candace and Charlie, this feud runs deep. We're talking years of quiet resentment, political sabotage, and personal betrayal. The kind of behind-the-scenes chaos that could end careers if the truth really comes out. One anonymous source close to the situation told a gossip outlet, "Candace's silence has been building for months. But what she found out last week, that was the final straw. And if what's being whispered in conservative circles is even half true, this might be the biggest implosion of the year, one that could destroy friendships, brands, and reputations in one brutal blow." Viewers, brace yourselves, because this isn't just about politics anymore. This is about loyalty, betrayal, and revenge at the highest levels of influence. What Candace allegedly uncovered about Charlie Kirk's wife is shocking, but the why behind it all, that's even darker. And here's the craziest part. Candace hasn't even said everything yet. She's been hinting that she has proof, screenshots, and recordings ready to drop if she's pushed too far. The internet is holding its breath, waiting for her next move. Because if Candace Owens really exposes what she's implying, it could end more than just a friendship. It could expose a network of manipulation, greed, and hypocrisy that no one was supposed to see. And tonight, we're breaking it all down. What Candace said, what she really meant, and why everyone from conservative influencers to major media outlets is terrified of what comes next. Because after what was said last night, there's no going back. Before last night's explosion, the friendship between Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk was seen as unshakable. Two rising stars who practically built the modern conservative movement side by side. They were the power duo of Turning Point USA, inseparable at events, always backing each other up in interviews, and constantly defending one another from online critics. To fans, they were more than just colleagues. They were family. But behind that picture-perfect public unity, cracks had been forming for a long time. It all began back in 2019, when Candace started noticing subtle changes in the way Charlie handled media appearances. According to people close to her, she felt sidelined, replaced, even whenever Charlie's wife, Erica France, entered the room. Erica wasn't just another supportive spouse. She was deeply involved in Turning Point's image operations, often whispering into Charlie's ear about who he should align with and who he should quietly distance himself from. Sources say Erica had an uncanny ability to influence major decisions, and that didn't sit well with Candace, who had fought tooth and nail to earn her position in the movement. At first, Candace tried to ignore it. She brushed off rumors, laughed in interviews, and pretended that everything was fine. But privately, insiders say she started to feel cornered, as if someone was slowly erasing her from the inner circle she helped build. Allegedly, Erica began organizing events without consulting her, proving PR statements that subtly downplayed Candace's role. And according to one insider, Candace saw her name disappearing from documents, plans, and partnerships she was originally leading. By 2021, things had reached a boiling point. During a Turning Point leadership retreat in Scottsdale, Several attendees reportedly witnessed a tense exchange between Candace and Erica after a strategy session. It began over a disagreement about guest speakers, but quickly turned personal. One witness later leaked that Candace allegedly said, "You're not the brand. You married into it." The entire room fell silent. Charlie tried to defuse it with an awkward laugh. But everyone knew something had just shattered. After that, Candace started to distance herself. Her interviews became sharper, her tone colder. And eagle-eyed fans noticed she stopped appearing in photos with Charlie and Erica altogether. Every podcast, every public panel, there was a visible gap where their once legendary chemistry used to be. Still, despite the mounting tension, both sides tried to keep up appearances. Charlie would occasionally shout her out on his show, and Candace would repost Turning Point clips with polite captions. But according to one former staffer, the friendship was already dead. They were just pretending for the cameras. Then came Theramore that changed everything. In early 2024, a Turning Point donor allegedly confided to a journalist that something massive had gone down behind closed doors. Something that involved money, reputation, and a personal betrayal so deep it made Candace furious beyond reason. That rumor never went public. Until now. Because when Candace posted that cryptic tweet about betrayal at the dinner table, fans immediately connected the dots. They remembered how Candace and Erica used to be inseparable at events, how Erica once called her a sister in an old Instagram caption. And now, with that one word, betrayal, the entire internet began to wonder, did Erica do something behind Candace's back? Did Charlie know? And what exactly did Candace discover that made her finally speak out after years of silence? Some fans think it's about politics. Others are convinced it's personal, something that could shatter reputations if it ever became public. Because those who've followed Candace for years know one thing: she doesn't make vague threats. If she says she's holding proof, it's not an empty claim. She's about to drop something that will shake the foundation of their entire network. And now, as whispers of secret messages, deleted photos, and hidden recordings swirl through social media, one thing's become clear. This feud didn't start last night. It's been building, festering for years. And if you think that tweet was explosive, wait until you hear what came next. The night after that cryptic tweet, everything exploded. What had started as online speculation turned into a full-blown scandal when an alleged leaked group chat began circulating across X, formerly Twitter, Telegram, and Reddit. The messages supposedly between Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, and Erica Franceville looked like the receipts fans had been waiting for. And if they were real, they exposed a betrayal far deeper than anyone could have imagined. According to the leaked screenshots, the tension began when Candace allegedly accused Erica of manipulating Turning Point's internal narrative to edge her out of major projects. One of the most shocking messages read, "You're not protecting Charlie, you're isolating him from the truth. I see what you're doing." Erica supposedly responded with a cold, dismissive line, "You've become too unpredictable, Candace. You're hurting the brand." Fans went wild. Threads with millions of views broke down every word. People zoomed into the screenshots, analyzing fonts, timestamps, and metadata. Some said the messages looked authentic. Others argued they were too perfectly timed to be real. But regardless of their authenticity, the damage was done. The internet had chosen sides, and then, hours later, Candace made it worse. She liked a post that directly accused Erica of weaponizing her marriage to control Turning Point and silence anyone who challenged her. Within seconds, Erica's name began trending, and old photos of her and Charlie resurfaced with brutal captions, like, "Was this all part of the plan?" and the smiling face behind the downfall. But the biggest blow came when a conservative gossip blog called Dreadwave Insider dropped a bombshell article titled, "Exclusive: Candace Owens Discovers Secret Emails Linking Charlie, Kirk's wife to internal power grab, a report. Claimed that Candace had discovered private correspondence between Erica and several turning point donors where Erica allegedly suggested transitioning Candace out of key public-facing roles. The supposed motive: Erica's growing desire to expand her own influence under the brand's umbrella. A source quoted in the piece claimed Candace found out she was being pushed out of deals she personally negotiated. When she confronted Charlie, he brushed it off like it was nothing. That's when she realized Erica was calling the shots behind his back. But just when fans thought they understood what was happening, another twist hit. That night, Charlie Kirk went live on his podcast, visibly tense, his tone clipped and defensive. He didn't name names, but his audience could read between the lines. "There are people who'd rather destroy everything we've built for personal ego," he said. "People who were once friends, but now want headlines more than truth. Now want headlines more than truth." Candace didn't stay silent. Within minutes of Charlie's statement, she fired back with a devastating X-post that read, "The truth doesn't fear exposure. Only the guilty do." Fans were stunned. Screenshots of her post spread like wildfire, generating over 20 million impressions in hours. People began posting old event clips, zooming in on subtle glares and awkward moments between Candace and Erica. Every little smile, every forced laugh was now evidence. Even more shocking, a supposed insider from Turning Point leaked an email chain allegedly showing Erica warning staff not to share sensitive materials with Candace. The line that sent chills across social media: "She's no longer aligned with our direction. Contain all communications." Viewers couldn't believe it. What started as a friendship built on faith, freedom, and shared values was sunriveling like a slow-motion implosion. Influencers began picking sides, some calling Candace brave for exposing the truth, others accusing her of torching a movement out of jealousy. And just when it seemed like the dust was starting to settle, another twist dropped out of nowhere. A video clip that changed everything. A TikTok account claiming to have worked with Turning Point uploaded a 15-second video that appeared to show Erica whispering something into Charlie's ear during a private event, followed by Candace's visibly shocked reaction seconds later. The caption read, "This is where it all started." The clip went insanely viral, amassing millions of views in hours. Fans started splicing it with dramatic music, zoom-ins, and slow-motion edits. Comment sections filled with theories. Some said Erica had revealed something about Candace. Others swore it was part of a staged plan to humiliate her publicly. And then, in the early morning hours, a mysterious account with no profile photo and only a handful of followers posted something cryptic. It wasn't about business, it was about betrayal, and he knew. Within minutes, fans realized the account had been following Candace for years. Was it her burner? Was it someone from the inside? Nobody knew. But the timing was too perfect to ignore. By sunrise, the feud had become the #1 trending topic in the country. Major outlets like Page Six and Daily Mail began running headlines. Fox News anchors were hinting at a brewing internal crisis among prominent conservative figures. And as the chaos spread, one terrifying question started echoing across social media. If Candace Owens was right, what was Charlie Kirk's wife really involved in? Because, according to one explosive leak that surfaced hours later, it wasn't just about power, it was about something much darker. That morning, just as fans thought the feud couldn't get any darker, an anonymous account dropped what may have been the most damaging leak. Yet a 3-minute voice recording allegedly featuring a heated phone call between Candace Owens and an unnamed Turning Point executive. The voice, eerily similar to Candace's, could be heard saying, "She thinks she can use Charlie as a shield." But if people knew what she's been doing behind the scenes, her perfect image would collapse overnight. The clip spread like wildfire. Within hours, hashtag Erica exposed and hashtag Candace leaks were trending simultaneously. People couldn't believe how personal it had become, and what came next turned it from a feud into a full-blown public UNRA VELLING, because within that same thread, someone claiming to be a former Turning Point intern posted a detailed thread alleging that Erica Francevy had been silencing internal whistleblowers, manipulating finances, and even using her proximity to Charlie to control political narratives. Screenshots, receipts, timestamps, everything looked convincing. But one screenshot stood out. It showed an alleged message from Erica's assistant: "Make sure Candace doesn't see the revised list." Charlie approved it, but she flipped if she finds out we cut her from the sponsorship deal. That one line broke the internet. Fans began demanding answers. Conservative forums erupted with conspiracy theories. People started combing through Turning Point's financial filings, pointing to missing funds and unexplained PR expenditures. And while the movement was eating itself alive online, Candace posted another cryptic message, this time on Instagram. "The masks are coming off. God sees everything." The comment section was chaos. Verified influencers, conservative commentators, and even some pastors weighed in. One supporter wrote, "She's not lying. I've heard the rumors for years." Another commented, "Charlie's silence says it all." But just when everyone thought Erica would stay quiet, she made her move. Late that night, she broke her silence with a carefully worded statement on her Instagram story. In pristine white text over a muted beige background, she wrote, "Sometimes, when people lose access to power, they'll invent lies to regain attention. I won't participate in slander. I choose peace." But the internet didn't buy it. Screenshots of her post were immediately flooded with comments like Deflection 101 and "choosing peace because you got caught." And that's when the real bombshell dropped. A journalist from PoliticsWire, a tabloid known for deep dive leaks, published a report titled, "Erica Francevy accused of using Turning Point resources for personal gain. Emails suggest Candace Owens was threatened to stay silent." According to the article, a whistleblower inside the organization claimed that Erica had allegedly used Turning Point's marketing budget to fund a private PR campaign to polish her personal image, including sponsored posts, influencer partnerships, and luxury event appearances. The report even included excerpts from alleged internal memos, one of which chillingly read, "Ensure Candace's media visibility is gradually reduced. She's becoming a liability." Fans were stunned. The same movement that once prided itself on transparency and unity was now being accused of cover-ups, manipulation, and corruption at the very top. And while Erica was facing mounting pressure, Candace took the gloves off completely. She appeared on a late-night podcast, The Unfiltered Truth, and for the first time, she didn't hold back. Without directly naming anyone, she said, "When people betray you, it's never strangers. It's those you loved, trusted, and protected. And sometimes they'll hide behind religion to justify it." Every viewer knew exactly who she meant. The host even asked point blank, "Are you talking about someone inside Turning Point?" Candace paused, smirked, and said, "Let's just say the devil wears designer and prays on camera." The clip went nuclear. Millions of views overnight. Fan pages dissected every micro-expression, every pause, every syllable. People started posting side-by-side photos of Erica's luxury outfits with captions like "designer" and "devout," now exposed. And then, shockingly, a Turning Point insider posted a now-deleted tweet claiming Candace isn't exaggerating. There are recordings. Erica crossed lines that could ruin everything. That one tweet sent everyone into overdrive. Was there more evidence? What recordings? Who else knew? Theories began spiraling out of control. Some believed Candace had been secretly collecting evidence for months. Others speculated she'd been blackmailed. A fringe theory even claimed Erica had been leaking information to political rivals to secure her own position. Meanwhile, major conservative donors reportedly began freezing financial commitments until the matter was resolved. Insiders whispered about emergency board meetings, while Turning Point's PR team scrambled to issue a statement insisting there is no internal conflict, but by then, no one was buying it. Because in the world of politics and media, perception is reality. And the perception now that something truly sinister was going on behind those polished smiles. And just as it seemed, Candace had the upper hand. An unexpected source stepped forward, one that would flip the entire narrative upside down. A former aide to Charlie Kirk claimed he'd seen private correspondence suggesting Candace had once asked Erica to help her sabotage another conservative influencer's career. If true, this would mean Candace wasn't the victim. She was part of the same manipulative game she now condemned. Within minutes, the internet was divided again. Was Candace truly exposing corruption, or was this revenge gone too far? Because what no one knew yet was that there was still one more secret waiting to be uncovered. A secret that would drag everyone down together. The aide's revelation flipped everything upside down, because if what he said was true, the narrative the entire internet had been following for days was suddenly inverted. The supposed victim might have been the manipulator all along. Within hours, hashtags like #CandaceSetup and #KirkConspiracy were everywhere. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. People weren't arguing anymore. They were investigating. According to the aide, who identified himself as TP Whistle, Candace had orchestrated several behind-the-scenes power plays long before the feud went public. He claimed she'd been quietly undermining both Charlie and Erica for months, planting seeds of doubt among donors, pushing her own network of allies inside the organization, and even leaking minor internal disputes to conservative blogs to make herself look like the righteous truth-teller. His alleged motive for speaking out. He said, the hypocrisy became unbearable. People deserve to know she's not the saint she pretends to be. The internet went wild. Within minutes, screenshots surfaced showing Candace allegedly corresponding with another influencer about taking back the narrative. One message read, "She thinks she's untouchable because she's Mrs. Kirk. Let's see how long that lasts." Another read, "Timing is everything. We expose, then withdraw, let them eat each other." Whether real or fabricated, these screenshots looked devastating. Even Candace's staunchest supporters were rattled. On Reddit, a popular conservative thread titled "Candace Owens, Hero or Mastermind?" shot to the top of the front page. Some commenters swore the timestamps didn't add up, that it was an AI forgery meant to smear her. Others believed every word, but the real explosion came when Erica, the woman who had stayed mostly silent until now, made a rare public appearance on a Christian podcast called Faith Unfiltered. In a soft, almost trembling voice, she said, "I have forgiven those who tried to ruin me, but forgiveness doesn't erase truth, and the truth will come out." The clip instantly went viral. For the first time, people saw Erica not as a villain, but as a poised, wounded woman betrayed by someone she once trusted. Her voice cracked as she continued, "I never expected that someone who called me sister would weaponize faith to destroy my family." The host tried to comfort her. But Erica's quiet composure made it worse for Candace. The optics were brutal. Then came another leak. A supposed Turning Point staffer sent an email thread to Red Wave Insider, the same outlet that broke the original internal power grab story. This new batch of emails appeared to show Candace aggressively pushing for control of a new media initiative that Erica had been spearheading, something called TP Faith, a project designed to expand Turning Point's Christian outreach. According to the emails, Candace demanded her own production team, her own sponsors, and full creative control. When she didn't get it, she allegedly pulled funding from key partners and began contacting journalists to expose favoritism. One staffer wrote in a leaked email. Candace is threatening to go public if she doesn't get her way. Erica's trying to keep things calm, but it's spiraling. Fans were stunned. For weeks, they'd painted Candace as the betrayed friend, but now she looked like the instigator. Her next move would determine everything, and she didn't disappoint. Candace went live. Not on her podcast, not on a friendly outlet, but directly to her millions of followers on X. The notification alone sent shockwaves through the internet. When she appeared, she looked furious. No glam, no filters, just pure emotion. "I'm done protecting people," she said. "They can throw every fake email, every edited screenshot, every whisper against me. But the truth, it's darker than you think. And yes, I have proof." Her tone was sharp, her eyes cold. This isn't about jealousy. This isn't about power. This is about corruption, and I won't be silenced. She claimed she had been set up, that the new leaks were planted by people panicking to cover their tracks. Then she dropped a bomb. She alleged that Turning Point's inner circle had been laundering influence through donor funds, and that Erica knew exactly what was happening. She even teased that she had voice recordings of private meetings were ethically questionable. Deals were discussed. "If I have to burn the whole empire down," she said, "I will." The live stream lasted 23 minutes, and every second felt like gasoline on an already raging fire. Within an hour, clips of her speech were on every platform. Supporters praised her bravery. Critics called it career suicide. And then, the most unexpected person entered the story. Kirk himself, in a last-ditch effort to control the chaos. Charlie posted a carefully worded statement. It read, "This has gone too far. I love my wife. I respect Candace. But misinformation and character assassination will not define who we are. Turning Point will be addressing false claims internally." But his attempt at neutrality backfired. To fans, it read like weakness. Some said he was defending Erica because he was compromised. Others claimed Candace was blackmailing him with those recordings. Conspiracy videos flooded YouTube thumbnails with red circles, arrows, and secret calls exposed headlines filled feeds. And just as the internet reached fever pitch, another twist shattered everything. A hacker collective calling themselves The Archive claimed responsibility for the group chat leaks that started the scandal. In a bizarre manifesto-style post, they claimed they had infiltrated multiple right-wing influencer networks, and that both Candace and Erica were complicit in manipulating audiences for money and control. The post included partial data dumps, old contracts, social media campaign drafts, and what looked like negotiation records for sponsorships. The claim that both women had participated in a quiet battle to dominate influencer funding pipelines, each undercutting the other behind closed doors. Now, it wasn't just about betrayal. It was about corruption. The media went berserk. NBC, CNN, and even independent YouTube channels began covering it, each offering their own spin. Conservative media largely stayed quiet, trying to figure out which parts were true. And then, as if fate wanted, one final twist. One of the archive screenshots showed a mysterious PayPal transaction labeled Strategic Retainer Candace Owens, dated months before the feud erupted. Nobody could explain it. Why were their names on the same payment? Was it fake? A shared consultant? A cover-up? Fans were dizzy. Even the most devoted followers didn't know who to believe anymore. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. "This isn't Candace versus Erica. This is everyone versus the truth." The pressure was suffocating. Fans realized something horrifying. This wasn't just personal drama anymore. It was an institutional collapse in real time. But even as Turning Point tried to extinguish the flames, a new wildfire began spreading. One cantered, not on Candace, not on Erica, but on Charlie Kirk himself. A 32-second voicemail surfaced on X, posted anonymously under the account @ShadowWitness. The voice sounded unmistakably like Charlie's panicked, low, almost trembling. "You have to delete those files. Do it now before she sends them. Don't ask questions, just do it." The clip hit 50 million views in 12 hours by dawn. Politico and the Daily Beast had both confirmed that multiple law firms were involved in assessing potential liability for recent media leaks involving Turning Point personnel. No one said it out loud, but everyone knew something criminal might be lurking underneath the drama. Meanwhile, a source close to Candace told the Whisper Wire, "She's not done. What's coming next will finish them." The next day, TruthVault_17 returned with a new message posted to the dark web and shared by Underground Telegram channels. Erica wasn't the mastermind. She was the cover. The real operation involved 3 people, and one of them still has access. Attached were 3 redacted names with only the initials visible: CK, EF, and CO. That single post detonated the fandom. What if everyone was in on it from the beginning? What if the feud was a distraction from something bigger, a joint operation gone wrong? Conspiracy threads erupted across YouTube and Reddit. Some said the trio had been working together to manipulate political donors using staged feuds and social media wars. Others believed the feud turned real when greed and jealousy took over. But one theory stood out, and it spread like fire. Phase 2 is the leak of the master file, the one that proves who planned it all. That night, dozens of verified users started posting screenshots of emails allegedly warning journalists to cease commentary on the Owens-Kirk situation for security reasons. What security meant, no one could explain. And then, Candace disappeared again. Her socials went dark. Her team issued no statements. Erica deactivated her comments. Charlie canceled all scheduled appearances. It felt like the calm before something catastrophic. Then, exactly 7 days later, a single post appeared on TruthVault_17's account. Black background, white text. Phase 2 begins at 11:11 p.m. At 11:11 on the dot, thousands of users across the internet received the same anonymous file drop, a folder titled Project Dominion. Inside were redacted memos, encrypted audio, and one terrifying note: "Everything you thought was betrayal, waste heater. The real enemy is still inside." Fans froze. Journalists scrambled. Nobody could open the files. They were encrypted beyond standard decryption tools. But a few seconds of one audio clip leaked before being taken down everywhere. It was unmistakably Candace's voice whispering, "They were never supposed to find this." Theory spiraled again. Was Candace exposing a shadow operation, or had she just unveiled a game that went too far? By morning, multiple outlets confirmed federal agencies were aware of ongoing leaks tied to Turning Point media operations. Erica's name was officially redacted from internal documents, and Charlie's show was abruptly suspended for restructuring. But the scariest part, nobody could trace who TruthVault_17 actually was. Some said it was a former staffer. Others said it was Candace herself. And then, the final mysterious tweet appeared from Candace's old account, just before it went offline for good. "You wanted the truth. Now watch what happens when you finally get it." Everything went silent. No confirmations. No denials. Just chaos, raw, viral, uncontrollable chaos. Fans are still refreshing. Still waiting, still whispering one question across every corner of the internet. Was this the end of Candace Owens, or the beginning of something far more dangerous? 3 weeks after the last leak, silence hung like a storm cloud, heavy, electric, ready to explode. Candace Owens had vanished. Her socials were scrubbed, her YouTube inactive. Her name whispered like a curse in the halls of every conservative network that once praised her. Charlie Kirk and Erica Francevy were trying desperately to patch their public image. Posting smiling photos, faith-filled quotes, pretending nothing had happened. But everyone knew. Something was off, and then, late on a quiet Sunday night, an email surfaced on a fringe whistleblower forum. It was short, terrifying, and impossible to ignore. From Phase 2 at the tweet racked up 2 million likes in less than an hour. Replies flooded in, fans begging for answers, haters accusing her of fabricating everything. But she didn't respond. Instead, 5 hours later, she posted a single video, a shaky handheld clip filmed in what looked like a storage room. "I was never supposed to find the tapes," she whispered, "but I did. They weren't targeting me, they were using me." Every scandal, every headline, every feud was part of a distraction to keep eyes away from where the real money was moving. She paused, her breathing heavy, and it goes all the way up. Charlie wasn't the boss. Erica wasn't the puppet master. There's someone else, and I have their name. Then, silence. The clip cut out before she could say another word. Social media erupted again. Hashtag the fourth name began trending as fans demanded answers. Who was the someone else? A donor? A media mogul? A political figure? The speculation became terrifyingly wild names of billionaires. Pastors and politicians were thrown around like confetti. But what came next made everything look tame. A private security firm leaked a report that their servers had been hacked by an unidentified group, and the stolen files included emails between Turning Point executives and federal contractors. The report hinted that Project Dominion wasn't just a metaphor, it was real. It described coordinated campaigns to manipulate algorithms, silence critics, and promote pre-selected influencers under the guise of organic engagement. And in one of those emails, 3 names appeared: C. Owens, C. Kirk, and E. Francevy. The revelation was nuclear. Overnight, Turning Point sponsors pulled out. Major networks refused to air Charlie's shows. Erica's PR agency dropped her entirely. And Candace. She disappeared again, this time with no trace, until 3 days later, when truthvault_17 posted one final message. The storm hasn't ended. It's only moved underground, underneath. A file attachment appeared titled "The Fourth Name, Final Transmission." People who downloaded it claimed it contained a 12-second audio clip, distorted, cryptic, but horrifyingly clear in its final line. They think Candace ran. But she didn't run. She was taken. The clip ended with static, followed by a single word, whispered so faintly it gave everyone goosebumps. Phase 4. Theories spun out of control. Some claimed Candace was in hiding. Others said she'd been silenced by powerful figures exposed in her leaks. A few even suggested truthvault_17 was working with her, planning a coordinated comeback that would detonate every secret at once. Days passed, then weeks, and still no sign of her. But one night, during a live stream by an independent journalist, viewers noticed something eerie. At exactly 11:11 p.m., the same timestamp linked to every leak, a strange comment appeared in the chat. From an unverified account. It read, "Don't believe what they told you. I'm alive, and I'm not done yet." The username? At the real Co17. The stream crashed seconds later. Now, months later, the entire internet is still obsessed. Every post, every whisper, every leak is dissected for clues. Was Candace Owens silenced? Is she planning her revenge? Or was this entire saga, every betrayal, every recording, every cryptic message, all part of one master plan she orchestrated from the very beginning. No one knows. But one thing is clear: this story isn't over. In fact, it's only just beginning, because somewhere in the shadows of the digital world, another message has surfaced, unread, encrypted, waiting to be unlocked. Its subject line: Phase 4, the final exposure. And if what insiders are whispering is true, it's not just about Candace, Charlie, or Erica anymore. It's about everyone. So after everything we've just uncovered, the betrayals, the leaks, the vanishing acts, the whispers of Phase 4, the question now isn't what happened. It's what's about to happen next. Because if Candace Owens truly isn't gone, if she's still out there planning her return, then we might be standing at the edge of a story that's far bigger than politics. Bigger than influence, a story about control, truth, and who really runs the narrative we all consume. And now, it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Candace Owens was a victim of a coordinated smear campaign, silenced for uncovering the truth about Turning Point and its so-called Project Dominion? Or was she the mastermind all along, playing everyone, Charlie, Erica, the fans, to build the most explosive rebrand in media history? Drop your theories in the comments below, because right now, even insiders don't know what to believe. Was Phase 4 real? Did she leak it herself? Or has someone even more powerful stepped in to stop the truth from ever reaching us? And if you've been following this saga from the very beginning, the leaks, the audios, the vanishing files, then you know this isn't over. New clues are surfacing every day, and when they do, we'll be the first to break them right here. So make sure you hit subscribe, tap that notification bell, and get ready, because what's coming next could rewrite everything we thought we knew about Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, and the empire behind them. Stay tuned. Because the moment Phase 4 drops, the truth won't just break the internet, it'll expose who's been pulling the strings all along. And remember, in a world full of leaks, power, and betrayal, the real story isn't about who lied, it's about who's still lying right now.